everybody, and welcome to Conscience Truth. Today is Tuesday. It's August 20th, 2019. And before I get into today's topic, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's actually stuck around with the changes on the channel. I know it's kind of completely different direction than what I was originally going for. But, you know, as a person, as an individual, when something just doesn't feel right, you have to change it. So, and it wasn't feeling right for me, so, I went and changed it. And that's just how it goes. And I knew that I was going to have individuals that were not going to be happy with that, and that's fine. But I knew I had some very loyal subscribers who were going to stick around no matter what content I brought to the table. This is more my niche. This is more what I'm passionate about. This is more the kind of information that I want to get out there and share with individuals. So let's jump right into today's topic. The protests that have been going on, not only all over the country over the past several years, but more specifically the protests that, have just occurred over this past weekend in Portland. 1,200 people had showed up to this rally. Now, this rally essentially was for a bill that is in the process of being passed, that was brought to the table by a couple of individuals. I believe one's from Texas, and I'm not sure where the other one is from. Essentially, this rally that was established was to end domestic terrorism, or essentially that's what they say, end domestic terrorism. But what they want is for groups within the United States who are doing terrorist type activities to be considered a terrorist group and be prosecuted to that effect. Because as it stands currently right now in the United States under the law, there isn't any specific prosecution for a group that commits terrorist type acts within the United States. They would either be processed at the state level, no matter what state they did it in, or at the federal level. There isn't any additional prosecution that would go into that. And that's what this rally was about, in support of this bill being passed in order to allow that to occur, and for the law to change to, have these individuals brought to justice, not just at a federal level, but as a domestic terrorist group level. So they would, have a harsher punishment, essentially, which I think is absolutely necessary, especially with all of the different groups that continue to come out as tensions rise, not only here in the United States, but throughout the world. So during this protest, there were 13 individuals that were arrested. There were 6 people that were injured, and one of them did end up going to the hospital with minor injuries. And this all occurred on the 17th of August. Some of the charges included disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and unlawful use of a weapon. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. One of these groups that had showed up, and I'm not going to say their name, but we all are very familiar with this particular group, and that's essentially, what this rally was targeting, did attack some buses that were carrying another group full of individuals. However, it's come to light that the poles, hammers, other things that were confiscated from those individuals that were on the bus had them prior to them being taken by this group. So who's in the right here? Well, nobody's in the right. Both parties are in the wrong as far as I'm concerned when I'm looking at it from an outsider perspective. And I'll tell you why. If you're going to go to a rally that's supposed to be peaceful, and I'm all for protests, I'm all for peaceful protests, I'm all for rallies. I mean, if I had grown up in the 60s, I would have been fighting tooth and nail at every protest I could get my hands on, going against the war in Vietnam. That's just me. I'm that type of person. I feel passionate about different things, and I would, have participated in those things. So I'm all for peaceful protests and rallies. What I'm not for is when you bring into a peaceful situation weapons, whether it be a hammer, whether it be a pole, whether it be anything that you want to potentially use to harm another individual. There's absolutely no reason for it. It's okay to get together as a group, and express your differing opinions. That's what this country is based on. That should occur continuously, in all aspects, not just in rallies or protests or anything, but throughout the entire country in any aspect. We should be able to sit down, or hold groups, meetings, anything, get-togethers, and share differing opinions, differing views, and take both sides of a story. That doesn't happen anymore. So this one group that was trying to get on the bus were throwing rocks. They were using weapons that they had taken to attack other individuals. That's not a positive way of getting your message across. There are so many other non-violent ways that you can speak your truth, speak what you believe, and get your message across to individuals. But there are some individuals, many individuals out there, that believe that the only way to resolve any type of an issue is through violence. Let's see here. The police ended up taking knives, poles, stun guns, and bear spray from these protesters that were arrested during this protest. Now, the mayor of Oregon, he attacked the activists, accusing a pro-Trump individual of causing issues and misusing taxpayer resources. He stated that in the U.S., there is a rising white nationalist movement based on white supremacy. What he failed to mention was that the group that he, was going against had established this in support of a bill in order to make sure that individuals were prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for the crimes that they commit. That's it. That was the entire purpose of the rally in the first place. So instead of shedding light on that and discussing that, instead he just attacked them. And he attacked that side instead of, not that they were in the right, because they had brought weapons, onto the buses or into the crowds or whatever had happened. But he failed to attack the other group at all and say anything as far as they're the ones, a majority of them, that were arrested for doing, what they were arrested for doing, using weapons, resisting arrest, attacking police officers, those kind of things. If you were going to attack a group of individuals for doing something wrong, and you're going to label them as white supremacists or white nationalists, and do all those kind of things, then you need to do it on both sides. Because if both sides are in the wrong, then both sides need to be called out for what they were doing. And that's the position that he should have taken, but he did not. So it's clear from that statement, in my humble opinion, that we know what side he's on. And it's not on the side of the right-wing activists that had established this rally in the first place. It's on the side of this group that many individuals believe are a domestic terrorist group. And they've caused issues in the past, and that's the entire purpose of this bill being brought forward. Trump wants this group to be considered an organization of terror. However, this is not allowed, like I said, under U.S. law. So here's my take on the entire thing. And, that's usually how I do things. That's how I'm going to continue to do things, is I will present all of the information, and then I will give my take and ask for your guys' opinion on it as well. So let's look at it from this perspective. There's an agenda in this country. There has been an agenda in this country, and there's going to continue to be an agenda in this country until it's fulfilled. The agenda in this country, one of the major key points of it, is population control, depopulation. And what better way to take care of that particular situation than to cause animosity between a bunch of individuals and have them take care of it on their own. There's no blood on my hands if I cause this group to pit against this group and they end up harming each other or killing each other. I did what I wanted to do in the first place, and I didn't even have to lift a finger. All I had to do was throw out a few words and pit them against each other. And that's the entire direction that we see everything going in this country over the past decade, more specifically. I'm not saying that there weren't a lot of civil unrest, prior to that, but we've seen heightened amounts of it in situations such as this that I just discussed increase over the past decade, where groups are pitting against groups instead of trying to work together and find a way to solve the issues that are at hand. Instead, they're attacking, killing each other, and everybody that has this agenda that they're trying to keep up with is sitting back and going, well, this worked out great because now we don't have to do anything. So that's my opinion on it. That's what I think the entire issue is, and I believe that's where it's going to continue to go, and I believe we're going to continue to see more and more and more of this. This is just the beginning, unfortunately. As tensions rise, as we get closer to the next election, things are just going to continue to increase between Trump supporters, non-Trump supporters, all different groups of individuals who believe different things throughout the entire country. So we might as well buckle up our seatbelts and just hang on tight, because it's going to be a wild ride until we figure out what's going on come November of next year. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Obviously, I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. And I'm not going to say what the other group is. If you have questions about that, you can ask me in the comments. I'll respond to you. But it's all over the news. It's been all over the news and all over every website. So I'm sure you can figure it out. So as always, guys, always remember everything does happen for a reason. So whether you're having a good day or a bad day, you're in a good situation or a bad situation, just stick with it. You're on that journey for a reason. Everything's going to be okay. Also, always remember, forget about the past. There isn't anything that you can do about the past other than learn and grow and try to be better people from your past. You need to be living your lives right now. Living, loving, laughing, enjoying family and friends right now, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. We all could not be here tomorrow. So it's important that we're doing that and we're staying focused on the future. Zeus wants to make a guest appearance. Love you too. That's all I got for you guys today, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.